What a crazy day it was inside Boone Pickett Stadium on Saturday as the Cowboys hosted the Arkansas Razorbacks, and those two programs took on each other for the first time since 1980. Let's talk about it. Casey Porter here for OKState Daily. So glad that you decided to tune in. It was a fantastic win for the Cowboys. I have no idea how they did it. The Razorbacks dominated on but just about every statistical category, on offense, on defense. If you'd have told me, hey, Ollie Gordon's going to have less than 60 yards rushing, Colin Oliver was going to go out of the game, Alan Bowman was not going to be a consistent passer, and then Arkansas would have 232 yards of offense, I would have told you it would have been a long day. And then you had all the crazy stuff going down the stretch, to be honest with you, other than the one offsides that should have been offsides when they called a false start. The officiating, to be honest with you, was really, really good all day long. The Cowboys, I've never been big on the culture thing because I felt like at times that's been kind of an excuse to hide some average recruiting. Hey, we can go get average kids. We don't have to work very hard in recruiting. And then we can bring in these three-star kids and develop them and do that kind of thing. I felt like it's been a little bit of that in the past. But, hey, I'll tell you what, with some of the ways the Cowboys have been winning in the last 3 or 4 years, really even longer than that, I think even guys like me who haven't always been bought into the culture thing being a real thing at Oklahoma State, even I am bought into that at this point when OSU just continues to find ways to win. When you're my age, I'm 51 years old. You've seen periods of times in this program's history. In the 80s, OSU was good. I expected OSU to win a lot of games. But then in the 90s, early 2000s, you just felt like Oklahoma State was just good enough to lose, right? Of course, periods of the 90s, they were terrible. They weren't good enough to do anything. But then, Les Miles came, and they had a couple of big wins. Mike Gundy came, and then I think that game, I believe, was in 2008 with Missouri. I think that game got Mike Gundy over the hump. And since then, the Cowboys really have been a program that, by and large, have figured out ways to win versus ways to lose. And so you saw that on display yesterday. Arkansas is in that period of time in their program history to where it just seems like even on days where everything goes right for them in terms of the way it's set up, the way that they're gaining yards, the way they're stopping their team's offense, they just make the wrong plays and the wrong mistakes at the wrong time to find ways to lose. But, hey, that's their problem. And it was a crazy game. It was a fun game, and I'm going to drive this home right here, this statement, and I will stick by it. Oklahoma State, with the 12-game playoff that they have nowadays, they don't have to have style points. If you're an Oklahoma State fan right now, it doesn't matter what happened on Saturday. Nothing matters other than OSU won. Hey, I get it. You might be saying, well, if they play like that against Utah, well, they probably won't. I mean, just look at the advancements Oklahoma State made as the year went on last year. That's to be worried about 2 weeks from now. What I know is right now Oklahoma State is 2-0, and as long as every week they go 1-0, they will be in the college football playoff. So there does not need to be style points. It just needs to be 1 point better than the other team, and Oklahoma State's schedule is good enough, obviously, to get them in the college football playoff. And so, as an OSU fan, each week OSU wins a game, we should be happy about that. Now, there are parts of it to chew on. We're going to do that in today's show, on the highlight show, and that's what all these podcasts are for, and that's all fun and well, and I understand all that. But, again, Cowboys 2-0, and looking to go to Tulsa for a big game this week. So with that, you don't want to hear any more from me about my opinions. Let's dive into the game. Let's get into the highlights, and let's talk some OSU Arkansas football. So Arkansas won the toss, and Oklahoma State elected to take the football. Arkansas deferred. Oklahoma State, there's the first inaccurate pass of the day for a day with Alan Bowman. That was not an accurate day for him. Hey, I'll say this about him. It wasn't necessarily an accurate day, as I said, but he did make some huge throws in the clutch. And when you're a leader, really what you need to be is a guy that your teammates can count on to produce and perform in the clutch moments, and I do feel like Alan Bowman did that. So give him credit for that, although it was not his most accurate day of the year. You saw just your typical zone slant where you fake a run to the left, and then you throw it back to Deshaun Stribling, and then you saw this right here. I know Coach Pittman was not happy about this because Rashad Owens did throw the defender down, but it was after the defender engaged with him, so the defender actually created the contact, and that's why the penalty flag was thrown, and it was a good call. So not the most accurate of days. There's the first catch for Josh Ford. We remember his Barry Hannah-esque catch in the second half that was originally called a touchdown, got called back to the 3-yard line. Josh Ford is a true freshman out of Stillwater. His grandpa, his dad, his uncle, and his brother all played college football, and a couple of those were in Division I. I know his dad played at Baylor. Here's another thing for the Oklahoma State offense. Two things, in my opinion, that needs to get better. One, run the ball, and then we need to find a receiver that can high point the ball right there. Got to get the first down, Ollie Gordon. My opinion, if you're an All-American, if you're a Heisman Trophy candidate, you have to get that first down. I know there wasn't a whole lot there, but it's only 3rd down and 2. And in my opinion, if it's 4th down and 1 and you feel like you have to throw the ball, my advice would be just go ahead. You're at the 23-yard line. Use Logan Ward and take a 3-0 lead. Taking a lead is a big deal. But back to the offense as Arkansas is going to get the ball after the turnover on downs, and they're going to go down and score. But Oklahoma State needs to find a receiver that can high point the ball, win one-on-one matchups, and then run the ball better if they want to have the consistent offense that all OSU fans want out of that. So, hey, this is just good scheme by Coach Petrino. Keep in mind, they have a new quarterback in Talon Green. They have a new running back in Jaquin Jackson. They have new receivers, and so there was very little to go on from Coach Nardo. This is great scheming. Oklahoma State's going to chase the pullers with their defensive end. They're going to chase the pullers with their linebackers. So Arkansas just has the running back go opposite the pullers, and then there you go. That's just good scheming. I can't blame OSU. There's nothing there that OSU did unfundamental or unsound, just good offense from Arkansas. And then here's the bootleg that really hurt Oklahoma State in this game, no doubt about it. Here you fake the handoff this way. That draws up linebackers. You're going to see Walter Scheid get caught up underneath. And see what happens is you have this flow going this way. So Walter Scheid is going to go with the flow, step down inside. Because of that, he's going to get blocked back underneath. And here is the thing about this. Oklahoma State, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. OSU and Coach Nardo wanted to have 7 guys in the box. So you know what that means for your back end? That means you're in man-to-man coverage. So if you're in man-to-man coverage, that means if your receiver runs off, you have to run off with them. Look at all the defenders. Their eyes are on the receiver because they're having to run with the receiver. They have no idea where the quarterback is at. So the man-to-man coverage, give Petrino credit. He just recognized OSU's in man-to-man. He gave flow one way, boot back the other. That's just a great play. That is great scheme. It's not unsound. It's not unfundamental. It's nothing that anybody on the Oklahoma State defense did improperly. That's just a really, really good offensive mind identifying Oklahoma State and what they're trying to do, attacking Arkansas's offense right off the bat and making really nice play calls based on what the defense is doing. Now, right here, you're going to see a fire by Jeff Robertson right up the middle. That a boy. So when Jeff Robertson fires right up the middle, see Talon Green, this is the problem. If you can get pressure on Talon Green, he will take his eyes off of downfield. So right here, he sees Robertson. Now watch Talon Green's eyes right immediately. Now, he's not even looking at his receivers. He's looking at Jeff Robertson. He's going to try to get out of there right there, and then he realizes, hey, there's Nick Martin. He is basically done at that point. Just go down and save your life there. So Oklahoma State bends a little bit. I will say this. It was because, like I said just a minute ago, give Coach Petrino a lot of credit in terms of just calling really nice offense. And Oklahoma State eventually bends. They get the ball back. They have a really rough series. And then Arkansas gets the ball back. And here is Arkansas's second possession, which will be their first touchdown of the game. Oklahoma State actually got the ball pinned down. Bowman ran, the sneak up the middle. They threw a long ball and then could not complete a pass on 3rd down. So Arkansas gets the ball in really good field position. Another run from Talon Green. This is fairly simple, really good. We think of SEC being road graders, but see, this is going to look like zone right. So what happens is you take a zone step right there. Now watch this tackle hinge and turn his butt to the hole. See this? Watch that right there. See 55 hinge, turn his butt to the hole. Now here's the double team on the zone play. Right here, that's going to give this lane right here because Kirkland is in a nose tackle, so you're going to have center and guard double on Kirkland here. See that right there? And because that's such a good angle, now center can actually climb to second level to Kendall Daniels. Now remember that hinge? Watch 63 just turn his butt to the hole right here. See that? Just turn your butt to the hole. You don't have to even do anything at that point. Just stand there with your butt turned to the hole and let the back play off of you and just shield Kendall Daniels. That is really good offense. That's well repped. And then Oklahoma State gets very aggressive here, firing downhill very good with Colin Oliver. See Colin Oliver coming back underneath, but yet Oklahoma State is replacing that with Trey Rucker. That is a good scheme there, back to the boundary for Coach Nardo. So watch here. Colin Oliver is going to shoot underneath to get fast force there. And then Kendall Daniels is going to give fast force, and because of that, safety is going to have to fit. Boy, look at Trey Rucker. He does that so good coming from the middle of the field all the way to the boundary. That is just big-time scheming from Coach Nardo, big-time execution from Trey Rucker, and Oklahoma State gets Arkansas on 3rd and 6. This is the problem. Too much time to throw, and this is a route that Arkansas just absolutely killed OSU on. See how the linebackers are going to drop to basically, if it was the middle of the field, they would drop to the numbers, right? They're going to split the difference in the defense. Split the difference here, split the difference there. So this receiver is just going to sit down in the middle behind these linebackers, and in the middle of the two, just sit down. Talon Green is going to wait till that receiver hits that hole, get rid of it, easy pass and catch. The only way you can defend that. So Oklahoma State's ran man, now they're in zone. So Coach Nardo is mixing it up well, but the only way you can defend that, get pressure on the quarterback. And this was very disappointing here. Watch, this is just simply too easy right there. That is just an easy touchdown for Arkansas. Of course, if they get in 1st and goal with the way that they like to run the ball, it's going to be very difficult. And if you notice right here, it's just kind of a wash. You have basically just safety. You have basically man-to-man coverage, and you just kind of get washed up in the hole. You get mauled on a little bit, and then Jackson, kind of has a three-way go at it. He bounces out, finally finds a hole, squirts back up in there for the first touchdown. So Arkansas takes the lead, 7-0, 5:54 to go in the first quarter. And Coach Gundy's on the headsets right now telling Coach Dunn, we have to run the football. So there's Ollie Gordon on first down. Good job. Deshaun Stribling is just posting up and getting that first down of the drive. Many times it's that first down that gets that offense in a rhythm. But I'll tell you what, Oklahoma State, that's the problem there. If they don't run the ball, you're going to make mistakes in the pass game. It's just so hard to pitch and catch and be perfect all the time. And then there's some more inaccuracy from Alan Bowman. It just puts so much pressure. Now watch right here. He actually throws that back into the corner where the corner can catch up. So you're going to see it really good here. See how that's back to that back shoulder? That is just an inaccurate pass from Alan Bowman. So Oklahoma State has to punt. Arkansas gets the ball back, and away we go. Again, Talon Green, there's that sit-down route. See that in between the two linebackers? We just saw that on the last possession. Coach Petrino going, hey, until they fix that and make an adjustment on it, we're going to keep running that same route, and they're doing a good job of running it out of a mini boot there to give Talon Green enough time to throw. And that's that 7-11 route. See right here where you come across the field off the boot and man-to-man coverage. So Oklahoma State started in man. They went to zone where they threw it to the middle of the field. Back to man-to-man. Now you run your crossers with the mini boots. This is just Coach Petrino right now putting on a clinic, and then there's the cutback again. And we're going to watch Walter Scheid run the rim. He's going to get too far upfield. And then again, watch 55 just turn his butt to the hole. See that? They are not mauling right now. I know you watch all the analysts are going, oh, they're just road grading and too much girth and all. What they're actually doing is they're positioning their feet and turning their butt to the hole and giving that cutback lane because OSU was over pursuing and too aggressive to the play side. So that cutback lane was there. defensive ends getting too far upfield. Give Arkansas credit for recognizing it and really attacking where Oklahoma State was most vulnerable. There's Walter Scheid right there, too far upfield, can't get back down. You're taught as a defensive end, if that flows away from you, that you surf down the line of scrimmage, you squeeze that cutback lane. Walter Scheid did not, and because of that, the Quinton Jackson was able to get out the back door for good yardage, and Arkansas right now is doing just about everything. Remember that first play of the game? Anything they want. Remember that first play of the game when Arkansas, they pulled the guard and tackle back to the left and then ran it back to the right? They ran that play again, except this time Oklahoma State's made an adjustment to that. They kept Nick Martin on the play side instead of chasing the puller, so Nick Martin was there, ready for it. And then this was just, hey, give Talon Green some credit. Oklahoma State fires a safety right here. See, Trey Recker's going to come. Because of that, here's the problem when you fire a safety with a tight end. To me, if you have a tight end, safety fires need to be off, and here's why. Because this tight end, typically speaking, would be a safety cover. So now, if this safety fires, now a linebacker has to cover. That's Kendall Daniels. Of course, you don't mind it as much because I've mentioned several times that Coach Nardo is going to use Kendall Daniels very similar to how a safety would. So I know Nardo doesn't mind Kendall Daniels covering this tight end, but here's the problem you have with that. When you fire a safety here, Nick Martin is reading flow, but because this other linebacker's having to cover the tight end, Nick Martin now has to anchor in the middle of the field because he has now both sidelines. He can't just play his side of the field. So now because of that, he has to read flow back to his left. See how he reads flow back to his left? And now there's a backdoor because Walter Scheid again has run that rim. So this was all caused by a safety fire, backside linebacker Kendall Daniels having to cover the tight end because of the safety fire. Then that meant that Nick Martin had to chase flow. Once he did that, it was out the back door. And Arkansas, Talon Green just made Oklahoma State wrong. Again, 3rd and 12, you're trying to make a big play. You're trying to bring a blitz. You're trying to get a sack. But you just left yourself vulnerable. But again, I'll say this. I think there's Lyric Rawls out of boy. Nice play, Lyric. Good to have him back. Lyric had a good first 3 games of the season last year before he went down to a season-ending injury. But I'll say this. Walter Scheid's got to do a better job on the backside of that, of squeezing that cutback. And then this was just another disappointing run. Watch Kendall Daniels. A little bit late to the party right there. And, that's one of those deals to where, hey, still playing linebacker, still having to adjust. You have a 5-man line right here, kind of an old Okie front, if you will. And here's another deal, same difference. Right here, you're firing Nick Martin from the corner. Remember we mentioned whenever you fired to safety, that meant that linebacker had to anchor the middle of the field. So now really instead of reading flow, Kendall Daniels is having to anchor the middle of the field. And because of that, he kind of hesitates on his drive to the ball. Because of that, he doesn't hit the running back until he hits the 3-yard line, and that's from a sideways angle. That's never going to work. Arkansas gets in the end zone. Everybody at Boone Pickens Stadium is worried because Oklahoma State has established nothing on offense. They have stopped not anything that Arkansas has done as far as Oklahoma State's defense. And right now you're going, dang, man, this is just a bowling shoe ugly game at this point, and said it last possession. Arkansas sidelines going nuts. Mike Gundy's on the headsets telling Casey Dunn, run the football. So you run it on first down, then you throw it to Brennan Presley on second down on that zone, and then just kind of a 5-yard out. Very, very typical average plays that OSU runs over and over and over. And if you notice, the Mike Gundy in his postgame mentioned that Casey Dunn didn't use the width of the field. Well, look where the ball's at right here, okay? This is second down right here. Let me go back to the second down play. The ball is on this hash, and we're throwing it to the short side of the field on an out route. So here you have 4 guys, 5 guys from the hash to the sideline to the short side of the field. That's just way too much traffic. I mean, that's asking way too much of your offense to operate in that small. You're kind of operating in a phone booth. So when Coach Gundy mentioned that Coach Dunn wasn't using the width of the field, this is what he's talking about. You're throwing it back to the boundary, which meant you're forcing the defense to have to defend less of the field. And what Oklahoma State has the advantage is and is spreading the field out and using their speed, and I really don't like this play on 3rd and 10. For one, Rashad Owens is not a speed guy. He's a post-up guy. He's a guy that can anchor in the middle field and post up and be physical and catch a ball. So to ask a receiver in Rashad Owens, whose game is not foot speed, to catch the ball and outrun probably a safety, 7 yards right there to get the first down, I don't like that concept to begin with on the mesh. And then the execution's worse. We talked about Alan Bowman was simply inaccurate. Look how this ball, even if this ball is out front of Rashad Owens, he's probably going to get tackled in front of the sticks. But once it's thrown to his back shoulder, he has to turn all the way around, and before he can turn around and run, that play is Katie bar the door. So Oklahoma State's down 14-0. It is absolutely bowling shoe ugly at this point. Everybody has to be worried. And right now, Arkansas is in complete control of the game. So the score is 14-0. Arkansas is driving. It is looking really bleak. And then this happens. Cale Smith, thanks to Colin Oliver, who hopefully, it sounds like it is, but boy, this was worrisome when you saw that flag. You just kind of thought that was coming back the way that the day was going. But Colin Oliver gets a hit on Talon Green. That forces the flutter right there. Cale Smith, young man from Midwest City, all the way to the house, gets the Cowboys back on the board. The penalty indeed was on the offense. So good news and bad news on this play. Great news, obviously, that you turned Arkansas over. You got the pick six. You got back in the game. The bad news, obviously, being that very well could be and probably is Colin Oliver's last play of the year. But anyway, how it is, the Cowboys pick it off, a much-needed pick six, and now they get back in the game. The game's 14-7. For the first time, Boone Pickens has something to be excited about. So Oklahoma State gets the pick six. You have a good play here on first down, just that scat route. Dana Holgerson ran that a million different times. At Oklahoma State, you have a good play on first down. You've just scored. Boone Pickens is rocking. You feel like, hey, let's go ahead and get a 3 and out, and let's get the ball back and go tie the game up. We had a rough start, but it doesn't matter because we've recovered. Well, then that happens. The problem with that is way, way too much fun time for Talon Green. There is a twist up front, 4-man rush. But, hey, Talon Green, not the most unbelievable passer of all time, kind of gives off those Vince Young vibes with his long legs, the number 10, kind of his throwing motion. But if you give him that much time, he can be very, very accurate. And then there's that backdoor play again. Just give the Quentin Jackson some credit here. This is just a really, really nice run, to be honest with you, by him. That is a really nice catch by the receiver there from Arkansas. Here's just outside zone again. In zone, you have 3 options. You can bounce it, you can bust it, or you can bend it back to the backside. Good job by Kendall Daniels staying to the backside, but watch the defensive end right here. He chases. See how the defensive end chases there? Because of that, gets too far flowed down the line of scrimmage. That gives to Quentin Jackson the ability to get right back up underneath him. Kendall Daniels is, because he's playing leverage, Daniels has inside leverage. He's assuming he's going to have outside leverage from the defensive end. He gets blocked. It's out the back door for, I'm not sure if that's, well, and this actually was not a fumble. They called it a fumble originally, but they gave the ball back to Arkansas correctly because the runner's knee definitely was down. There was no doubt about that. You had a big scrum. Nick Martin came out with it right here. You're going to see the knee down right there. The knee is definitely down, so that was an easy call for the replay official to overturn. So now you have adversity. You're thinking, man, we look like we can get the ball back to tie it. There's that boot again. Give Talon Green. He's just really good on that boot. You can't cover that in a man-to-man coverage. You're not going to cover those crossers off of a boot. There's a nice play on a run play, fitting up from different levels, linebacker level, safety level. You see Corey Black there, cornerback level. So good job. And then there's this running game right here. Just another third disappointing run inside the 10-yard line, I should say, by Arkansas. And you're going to see exactly what happens right here. Arkansas just does a good job of pulling a guard, kicking out Walter Scheid again. Nick Martin gets blocked by a lineman who gets to the second level. Arkansas does just a fantastic job getting to second level. So you're going to see a double team right here. You're going to see it's that old pin and pull. You're going to double team here and pin this tackle here. You're going to pull and kick the defensive end. I love that scheme right there. And then that's going to allow your center right here to get up on Nick Martin. And so you have 2 for 1 in some situations. You have a pin and pull, and you have a center that's getting to second level. Arkansas responds off of the pick six. They now take a 21-7 lead over Oklahoma State. So OSU gets the ball back, now down 21-7 with 4:34 to go in the first half. And you're thinking, man, OSU really needs to respond. You know, Mike Gundy is telling Casey Dunn, we have to figure out a way to run the ball. So you get a good gain on first down. You end up with a 3rd down and 5. Looks like you're going to complete a pass there, but then the whistle blows. Oklahoma State actually calls a timeout here. I think you probably would have had the first down there. OSU comes out of the timeout. Mike Gundy there, you can see, does a great job of just staying in control. You come out of the timeout, and you end up on 3rd and 5 here. Oklahoma State with Alan Bowman throwing a slant there, and Arkansas pretty much knew it was coming. Oklahoma State had thrown that slant to Deshaun Stribling several different times. They're all over it. They defended. Now it's 21-7. Oklahoma State has to give the ball back, and you have to be thinking as an OSU fan right now, if Arkansas goes down and scores again and makes it 28-7, this is going to be a tough day. So right now, because again, you also know that Arkansas is going to get the ball back to start the second half. So this is a crucial series, and because of that, Coach Nardo dials up some really good pressure there on 3rd down. This was a critical stop for OSU. Here's the pressure right here. You're going to see Kendall Daniels right up the gut for Oklahoma State. Create some pressure right there. Get in the face of Talon Green. Finish right there. Kendall Daniels did a really good job of that, getting hit on Talon Green. And you see whenever he has pressure on him, he is not nearly as accurate. So OSU comes up with a crucial stop. You feel like OSU, with Arkansas getting the ball first to start the second half, needs to go score. Nifty little play. You pull a guard and tackle back this way. You make it look like Brendan Presley's going the other. Then he cuts back. But it's just too long of a developing play. So that sets up a 2nd down and 11 as OSU lost a yard in the play. There's the one catch for Kel Cabness. Now it's a big 3rd down post up. Get that first down. The biggest part of that, Oklahoma State did not score. Good job, Des Stribling. The biggest part of that is it killed enough time to where it pretty much meant that Arkansas was not going to get it back and be a threat. Now, I mentioned earlier there's an interception there. It's kind of like a punt, though. Yes, it does give the defense a little bit more momentum. Remember me saying that Oklahoma State, in my opinion, to be the offense they want to be, needs to find that high point receiver? Well, they tried to do that here with Rashad Owens. Rashad Owens is good at posting up, and he's good at turning around, making himself a big target. He's not as good, in my opinion, of high pointing the football and just beating his defender in one-on-one situations. So you get the turnover, you're right back into a crucial situation, and then how about Obi Ozigbo, who had a huge day for Oklahoma State. I mean, a huge day after Colin Oliver came out. Young man out of Gannon who came over, actually the same university as his defensive coordinator, Brian Nardo, came to Oklahoma State, made a huge play, got Arkansas in a long yardage situation. Talon Green now just not wanting to make a mistake, knowing he gets the football first in the second half. And here's with 13 seconds left. It's just simply a matter of tackling. Talon Green obviously can't throw the ball 60, 65 yards all the way to the end zone, so they have to do this. Now it's just a matter of rallying up and tackling the football. And we go to halftime with Oklahoma State trailing 21-7. And I've got lots of mixed emotions at this point. I'm thinking this half has absolutely sucked. OSU has established no offense. They've established no identity on defense. We have not established a way to shut down anything that they're doing offensively. Our offense has not established anything. I'm thinking that, but then also I'm thinking, well, you know what? This was just about as bad of a half of football as you could have possibly imagined, but yet we're only down 21-7. So there was two ways to look at it at halftime, and so it was kind of mixed emotions there. And as we start the second half, Arkansas gets the football to start another huge series, because you feel like if Arkansas goes up 28-7, it's going to be very difficult. There's that run game. Oklahoma State, remember, they weren't good on that earlier in the first half with the quarterback. They're a lot better at it here. So Jeff Robertson, here is Nick Martin on the edge again. Jeff Robertson in the middle. We've seen OSU run that that linebacker on the edge, linebacker in the middle, defense many times before, but that left that cutback lane right there open. Remember that a couple of times in the first half? So what adjustment did Oklahoma State make to that? They assigned that cutback lane to a very good tackler, especially a great tackler in space, Trey Rucker. Atta baby, Trey. That is a huge play because that establishes Coach Petrino right there into Talon Green. Oklahoma State has figured that cutback play and or that quarterback keep play back away from Flo. That was a huge play by Trey Rucker. Another huge play defensively by big number 9, getting downhill in the rush game. He's trying to shoot some energy into this Cowboy defense, but then that right there. Just a nice little pitch and catch. That was very disappointing after 2 great plays. Jeff Robertson fires up the middle by Trey Rucker. You get the third down conversion, then you get this. And I'm just telling you right now, I am very worried in this game. This game has me extremely, extremely worried. There you have Talon Green bottled up again. Oklahoma State has figured that out. Bobby Petrino at this point, he has to take that out of his playbook, and that's not something that he wants to take out of his playbook. So give Coach Nardo a ton of credit. And Oklahoma State at this point, they have to force the issue. Coach Nardo knows that. He is not afraid to do it, and so he fires Nick Martin from the top. There's Jeff Robertson in the middle. Martin, he did this all day long. 1 linebacker in the middle, 1 linebacker on the edge to give you a quasi 5-man line. And now that you don't have Colin Oliver, give you a really fast pass rusher. I know this would be considered a blitz, but really all this is a pass rush from the edge. Imagine that, just a five down lineman defensive end on a pass rush. That's something at Arkansas I'd probably never seen Oklahoma State do on film. I can't remember OSU doing it. So give Nardo a tremendous amount of credit for dialing up just a wonderfully schemed defense. See, so right here's the problem for Arkansas. You have this fire right here from Nick Martin. Then you have Trey Rucker on the other side who is going to cover any kind of cutback lane. So there is nowhere to go for Talon Green right here. That is just great scheming, and they were going to run that boot. Nick Martin had that boot taken care of. That boot is something Oklahoma State really got hurt on in the first half. Give Coach Nardo a world of credit. Huge third down, 5-man line, 5-man rush right there. Great play, Dylan Smith. Atta baby. Way to drive down and throw that sword down, young man, because Dylan Smith had 2 pass breakups. They were both huge. That is a huge play to get your defense off the field, establish some momentum in the third quarter, give your offense the ball back, an offense that Oklahoma State at halftime made some adjustments, get the ball to Ollie Gordon, let him run right there, only a couple of yards. But Oklahoma State's going to start working fast. They're going to gather some momentum, and they're going to go right down the field and they're not necessarily going to score just in bunches. Alan Bowman, we mentioned that he was inaccurate in the first half. Right now, he's getting ready to turn it on. So a nice throw to get the first down there to Deshaun Stribling. Again, Oklahoma State trying to establish the run game, just a zone back to the left. Not quite able to do it. Alan Bowman on target right now, and just a good, just kind of a comeback route to Rashad Owens. That's what Rashad Owens is good at. Just tell him to run out there and post up, present his numbers, make himself big, let Alan Bowman hit him in the numbers, and now Alan Bowman's in stride. Oklahoma State's working fast. Rashad Owens, after he posted up, now you fake that post up move, then you come back to the middle, and now Alan Bowman's right in stride. This is what Alan Bowman can do. He can have a period of time where he's inaccurate, then he can get really hot, like we've seen him do. There's a nice play to Brendan Presley, just a little bit of an out against man coverage. You are not going to be able to cover Brendan Presley in man coverage. And then this right here. Here's another high point, not necessarily a high point, but a one-on-one, just a fade to the boundary. It wasn't necessarily to the boundary, but it was a fade. Oklahoma State has had receivers that have caught that so many times in the past. Boy, there is a nice play, a very nice play for Oklahoma State, too. They're tight end there in the pass game. And as far as the receiver right there, that is Tyler Foster, the senior transfer for Oklahoma State at tight end. That was his one catch in the day, and it was a big one to make 3rd down and 1. And right there, got to get the first down. I mean, you just simply have to get the first down there. Oklahoma State calls a good play. Get up on the line of scrimmage, get Alan Bowman under center, just get the first down. That's all you have to do there. But anyways, Alan Bowman is getting hot. OSU has some tempo. You feel like Oklahoma State's getting ready to score. And if you make it 21-14 halfway through the third quarter, with all the bad play you've had, with all just kind of crap that's happened in this game, you're going to feel pretty good about it. This looked like a face mask initially, the way that Brennan Presley reacted to it. It was not. I mean, I went back and checked that several different times. Then you have this. There's that one-on-one play right there. Nice. Great job, Brennan Presley. But again, you have a costly penalty on Jake Schultz right here. Notice right there, you can't go low like that. Now, maybe if you're from the front and your defender can see you from the front, like if he's, let me scoot that forward a little bit. If he's coming from this angle and this defender can square him straight up, but if you're going to come from the side like that, it's supposedly inside the tackle box, that's okay. That's one of those iffy deals. Here's the problem with that as an OSU fan that I have. There's no need for it. I mean, why? If he just we mentioned that Arkansas just kind of hinged and just kind of turned their butt to the hole. Well, if Jake Schultz just stands there and gets in the way of number four is not driving on Alan Bowman right now, right? So if he just plus you have Ollie Gordon to block if you need. If Jake Schultz just stands there and doesn't go low, number 4 is not going to do anything. So that block was absolutely not needed, and it was a huge deal. Jake Schultz is a wonderful player. I don't mean that to be negative towards him whatsoever, because he is a great player, tough dude, great blocker, just trying to make a play. But it wasn't needed, and it cost OSU 4 points. So now you're like, man, this is OSU football. I mean, this is the first time all day long where I feel like I'm watching OSU football. Now here, OSU's back to the 2-box linebackers. I like that, because now you can fit play side with Kendall Daniels. Now you can cover the cutback lane. Remember that cutback lane that Jackson was hitting in the first half? Okay, see, this is the cutback lane. See, there's that just turn your butt to the hole there on Cold Walterside, right? So the cutback lane was there in the first half, and OSU really got hurt on that. The adjustment, 2 linebackers in the box, and put both, I believe that is Trey Rucker right there. Trey Rucker and Nick Martin, 2 great players in space, accountable for that cutback right there. That is great scheming. Coach Nardo, he is just an absolute genius on his adjustments, and so give him credit. Here's a field side look, and Nick Martin attacking that from inside out, making sure that he had that cutback lane cut off. And hey, if you take away the quarterback run game and then the cutback game of Arkansas, it really makes it difficult then if you can get any kind of pressure on Talon Green. So eliminate the cutback, and then eliminate the cutback, eliminate the quarterback run game, get pressure on the quarterback. They're going to struggle. Again, up from the safety spot right there, Dylan Smith doing a great job fitting up the line of scrimmage on that run game. Nice play from the safety spot there. Dylan Smith and Trey Rucker do a great job in the run game there. There is your 5-man line again. You have Nick Martin, who's going to cover his back out. And right there, great tackle, 2nd down and 9, Corey Black. Really good tackle. Need to stop that right there. We got to get off the field. Got to be more physical. Thank goodness Oklahoma State did it on 4th down, and then this. Arkansas is running all these nice plays, getting too cute, my opinion. No need for that toss. And I'll tell you what, Cody Walterside, who I pointed out a couple of times, had got pinned to the sideline just a touch, allowing the cutback lane. I'll tell you what, he is just a guy. Seems like always in the right spot at the right time. Seems like those guys that work hard like him, that do all the fundamentals properly, it seems like they're always the ones that have the good fortune. So now Oklahoma State down 21-10, really needed that. So, hey, if Ollie Gordon's struggling to run the ball, just swing it out to him. Get him out in space. Good play there. And a lot of times that'll get the mojo going. But give Arkansas credit. They covered that little hole play right there pretty good. Set up a 2nd down and long, where Oklahoma State now is going to give the ball to Ollie Gordon. Really good run. One of the best runs of the day for Ollie Gordon. So this does a couple of things. It opens your playbook up because it's 3rd and 5, much more manageable. Then it also gives the play caller the ability to know, hey, we have 2 downs to get it. We can also go forward on 4th down, so it relaxes you a little bit. And, hey, when all heck breaks loose, throw it to number 80 on any kind of route. Tell them to run a route. Tell your offensive line to block long enough to let the route run, and Brennan Presley will score. Good job, Alan Bowman. throw the ball away. Live to see second down. Don't try to force something and turn the ball over. Here you see trips. This is a dead giveaway that this tight end is not going to get the pass here. So right here you see this tight end, OSU does this. This receiver right here is on, which means that tight end is dead. That tight end now can not go out for a pass. He is an offensive lineman. You can line up like that. Once you have a guy outside of you that's on the line of scrimmage, you then cannot be a pass receiver. So now Arkansas, see this safety right here, knows that this tight end's dead. The problem with that is if you recognize that nobody has to cover this guy, so now basically you have the 3-on-3 that Arkansas wanted there in the pass game. But there's a good play to Deshaun Stribling. Arkansas didn't recognize it quite fast enough. Good play on 2nd down and 10. Again, it gets you in a manageable 3rd down and 3. Brendan Presley in motion like he does all the time. How about that right there from Alan Bowman? I know this ended up being a pig play. This is another thing that Oklahoma State did on Saturday that they just don't do very often, and that is bust coverages, or bust routes, I should say. I mean, this is just a busted route where 2 receivers and the quarterback are not on the same page, and because of that, Alan Bowman throws it away. When I say, how about Alan Bowman? He did not throw a pick. He didn't try to force it. It would be easy to say we're down 21-10. We have to make a play. We have to do this. So Oklahoma State gets the pick penalty because they run the wrong route or busted route or didn't execute it properly. So now I'm thinking, well, you have OSU on 4th and 3, but Arkansas elects to take the penalty, which gives OSU the 3rd down again, probably hoping that it makes for a longer field goal and makes it to where Oklahoma State might miss the field goal, because as we see, if Oklahoma State, like Logan Ward does here, makes that field goal, it becomes a 1-score game, and at that point, it gets very scary. There's a nice catch there for Josh Ford. Great job, Logan Ward. Tell you what, he missed the one to end the game in regulation, but he hit some absolutely crucial field goals in this game, no doubt about it. So Oklahoma State finally has pulled this game to within 1 score. It's been an absolute grind, but you're thinking, man, we've done all this work. Boy, there's a nice play, good momentum. We've done all this great work, but all it's going to take is just 1 play from Arkansas. 1 score, and you've done all this work, and you're right back down 15 points. Great play, Lyric Rawls, that a boy. So, I mean, you're in the danger zone right here. The Arkansas is releasing some offensive linemen there. You cannot allow Arkansas to score whatsoever. And give the defense credit, they did not allow a score from Arkansas in the second half until those last 2 possessions when it was kind of scramble mode and hurry-up mode. There is a disappointing 3rd down and 4. So now you're thinking, we've done all this good work. Arkansas, they're already at midfield. Time is ticking. You're already in the fourth quarter. Good job there by Talon Green, is picking the ball up, throw it away. I would suggest to him throw it away before that. That way you wouldn't have to take the hit. But he does throw it away to make it 2nd down and 10. Oklahoma State dials up pressure. Talon Green, because of that, this is a really, really kind of a lucky play. Corey Black got beat off the line of scrimmage, but he was able to kind of catch up and then knock the ball away. Oklahoma State brings pressure up the middle. Talon Green just does a great job of finding a receiver. Right now, as worried as I was in the first half, this is probably the most worried I've been all game long, especially whenever you rip off that run right there, because I'm thinking if Oklahoma State goes down 28-13, it's not just the 2 scores. Oklahoma State can make that up. It's the fact that you worked your ass off to get those 2 field goals, and then Arkansas just seemed like effortlessly made back 7 points. You've actually lost a point on your comeback effort in the second half. But then you have this from Talon Green. This is more on him than it is the center. Not a perfect snap, but he probably should have had that. And then it's just an all-out fire on 3rd and 14. It's Coach Nardo saying to hell with it. We are not going to allow this young man the time to pick us apart. You see Kendall Daniels come through with the all-out fire and a huge miss. So many things had to happen. Oklahoma State had to make all their field goals. You had to have the turnovers. You had to have all that happen. Then you had to have Arkansas also miss their field goals, and it all actually happened. So Oklahoma State finally has the ball, finally, with a chance to tie the game. And right now, Ollie Gordon is not in the game. That is Sesi Valahi right there running the ball for OSU on 1st down. There is a a second down play and 5, and you're thinking, man, you just did a great job getting off the field. You're not exactly sure how many possessions you have left, and you want to leave yourself time if you do score and miss the 2-point, where it's not like with 40 seconds left and the game's over. This was a huge play. Remember me mentioning earlier, hey, tell Brennan Presley to run a route. Tell your offensive lineman to block it long enough to let him run that route. Throw it to him, move the chains. Brennan Presley inside, whip, outside, whoop, right there. Throw it to him. First down, Brennan Presley. Great play. Good throw for Alan Bowman. Nice, safe throw. Presley gets a huge first down. Here's another one of these. High point the ball right there. Catch the ball. Somebody needs to high point that ball. Go up at the highest point of your jump to high point that over the receiver and make a play. Again, that's not Rashad Owens' strength, and this was just a great pass. One of the few times ever you will see Brennan Presley not make a play in crunch time. That's a play that was a good pass by Bowman. He could have made that play, just didn't, and now Bowman has to scramble and throw the ball away, and Oklahoma State now is forced with a 4th down and 10. They have to punt the ball away, and then this. Wow. You also had to have this. I mean, just so many things had to work in your favor, and boy, I tell you what, that was just great job by the long snapper for Oklahoma State being in the right position. So, yeah, Arkansas, somewhat unforced turnovers, but give Oklahoma State credit for being in the right position to go ahead and, I mean, if you're not in the right position, then Arkansas would muff it and pick the ball up. So now, if you're an OSU fan, you're thinking, okay, we have to score. Great throw right there to Rashad Owens, who gets all the way down to the 7-yard line. I'm thinking now, though, my Oklahoma State brain, okay, well, how are we going to score from the 7? We haven't been able to run the ball all day, so Oklahoma State has to throw it. What a play. What a play. And right there, I thought they were going to call a pick on OSU. Thank goodness that Brennan Presley caught this ball behind the line of scrimmage. That is a pick on Deshaun Stribling, but you can do that if the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage. The referees determined that the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, and so because of that, that is not offensive pass interference. Oklahoma State then gets the 2-point conversion. Let me go ahead and get that clip back on here. I don't think I have the 2-point conversion there. But Oklahoma State does get the 2-point conversion. They throw it to Deshaun Stribling, and they tie the game. So the game is tied, man. This is the first time that I'm feeling pretty comfortable, and then Arkansas does this right here. Just kind of sit. Remember how they have sat down in the middle of the field so many different times. Good job by Talon Green. Here's just kind of a lead stretch play, and the run game's back for Arkansas. They've kind of adjusted. Instead of running that cutback play, now it's just outside zone. So now, see how this right here, you're just going to pin another pin and pull play. You're going to pin Walter Scheid to the inside, and then you're going to pull your tackle, and you're going to kick. So pin and pull. So pin right here, pull right there, and kick. I mean, that is old school football. And then you have a lead up with a fullback up on your safety. Give Coach Petrino credit. That's a great play. You remember me saying Oklahoma State was fitting those alleys with their safeties, and that was their adjustment. So the adjustment now for Arkansas is to bring a fullback up on Trey Rucker. So pin and pull with a lead blocking fullback. That's why there's such good yards there for the running back, Jaquindon Jackson, for Arkansas. I just got to give Coach Petrino credit, and I got to give Brian Nardo a ton of credit here. Hey, man, you got to force the issue. Somebody's got to make something happen. Well, that somebody's going to always be Nick Martin. Nick Martin is a big-time playmaker. Right here, Obi, Azebo, both you kind of make, I know Dusty Dvorak said, this is a sandwich right there. Great play. You get Arkansas behind the chains on 2nd and 14. You tip the ball on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd and 14. If you're Brian Nardo, you have to send the house at this point. And then but you have to do it in a way that Green can't just take off like he did in the first half and take off on a scramble with Talon Green with scrambling lanes. So you got to send the house. You got to get pressure on him. You got to force him to do this right here. He does a good job of getting this thing back to a manageable 4th down. Huge play in the game, kind of a play that's underrated. You forget about this play right here. Oklahoma State stops Arkansas a yard shy of the 1st down. So for the first time since the first possession of the game, Oklahoma State has the ball now, and the game is tied. Oklahoma State has the ball with a chance to take the lead. So get the ball to Ollie Gordon. Get him outside. Get him up there. Get him going downhill. And let's get this thing going. And let's take the lead, Cowboys. Let's get the lead on Arkansas. Let's see if Arkansas can play from behind. We know this is an Arkansas team that last year was in a lot of games, but although they were in a bunch of games, they lost a bunch of games late, so it's imperative. Let's get them behind. So how about the reverse flea flicker to Jake Schultz? What a great play call. Great timing there. So Oklahoma State throws it to Jake Schultz on this great play. Oklahoma State takes the lead on that possession right here that we saw on the great flea flicker to Jake Schultz. And right here it's 28-28. Oklahoma State is driving. And Alan Bowman right there, a pass to Ollie Gordon, gets down to the 35-yard line. Ollie Gordon, he did definitely touched. He touched down, no doubt about that. So, and now Oklahoma State, right there, trying to take the lead again here, 28-28. And here are a couple of really fortunate situations that happened. A couple of really big-time calls by the referees. Hey, I'll say this. They messed up the offsides. It should have been offsides on Arkansas. But the rest of the game was pretty much spot on by the officials. Even the one that Coach Gundy got mad about where he thought the play took longer than 3 seconds. Here's the second defensive pass interference. You might say that's obvious as an OSU fan. I've seen that not called a million different times. They did not have to call that. Although, if you watch the replay, it was pass interference, but give the officials credit for calling it. They got the administration of the resetting the clock. What happened on that was instead of resetting to 40, the play clock reset to 25. The officials had to go back and reset the game clock and the play clock, and they put 3 seconds back on the clock. Mike Gundy wanted 6, and the officials were correct on that. I actually went back and checked on that. There is a second down play. Again, just another busted route. Not something that you expect from Oklahoma State. And then here's a 3rd down and 10. What a play to Brennan Presley. This game should win until Alan Bowman does that. I mean, come on, Alan. You get a mulligan for me because Oklahoma State won the game, and you've won a lot of games here. But come on, man. Don't ever do that again. That really hurt OSU. Really, really hurt OSU. So we're getting set up to here just in a minute. Oklahoma State's going to run the ball, and then they're going to eventually get to a 3rd down. Nice run there by Ollie Gordon. I was thinking he might bust that just for a second. So now you have a 4th down right there. Okay, so the defense, no doubt about it, the defense jumped. They're in the neutral zone. See right here. Okay, see, so what the referee said was this motion right here drew the defense off, and because of that, that is not legal. Well, what Mike Gundy says, we've been doing that all spring and all fall. We've had referees at our scrimmages that are Big 12 referees. They've all said that's legal. And by the way, he told the referees before the game they were going to do that. And this set of officials said that it was okay to do. And there's no doubt about it right there. Defender is 1,000% in the neutral zone. That is offsides. Every day of the week, twice on Sundays. In my opinion, that is the only call all game long that the officials missed. Okay, but if you're a great team, you got to overcome those things. So Oklahoma State, instead of being able to milk the clock, run the ball a couple more times. Again, here's another huge, that's not automatic. That's 38 yards. Great job, Logan Ward. So you got to overcome. But instead of being able to milk the clock, run it a couple times, now you're kicking a 38-yard field goal. You're giving the ball back to Arkansas with 56 seconds left. And, man, Arkansas did everything they could not to score on this possession. Their time clock management was absolutely terrible. There's Talon Green taking way too long to get 9 yards. They did get the ball out of bounds, but, you're taking close to 10 seconds to gain 9 yards. That's not a good trade-off. Oklahoma State's trying to get pressure. Nice tip there. I'm feeling pretty good at this point. I'm thinking, hey, right there, that's a good run. But I'm thinking, hey, Oklahoma State, you're just like one sack away. You're just one bad pass away right there. See, just a bad pass from 23 seconds. Really, the only way Arkansas is going to be able to do this is if you allow a big play like this. Here's my problem with this play. Okay, good pass, Talon Green, no doubt about it. Here's my problem. This is just Corey. I love Corey Black, okay? You have the lead, okay? It's 31-28. See that scoreboard? See, there's 12 seconds left. So if Corey Black right now, okay, just post up right here and lets this guy catch it, okay? Just let the guy catch it right there. Just play behind him. It's going to be at the 48-yard line, and there's going to be about 12 seconds left. So let him catch it and then tackle, okay? Let it be, because right now you see Arkansas has no timeouts left. So what's going to happen is if Corey Black just tackles the dang football, Arkansas is going to have to get up on the line, okay, and there's going to be about 12 or 13 seconds left, and they're going to be at the 48-yard line. And then it's going to come down to, can they complete a 20-yard pass in 12 seconds to the sideline, okay? That's not going to happen. So the problem you had there was, and I thought if number 2 caught that, the game would have been over. So the problem wasn't that they completed the pass. The problem was, what are you doing playing that aggressively, Corey? Come on, man. You know better than that. Corey Black played the football instead of his defender, didn't tackle. Because of that, you gave Arkansas the chance to kick the game-tying field goal, something of which they finally made a field goal. It snuck inside the goalpost, and this worries me. And the reason why overtime worries me is because Arkansas runs the ball better than OSU. They've had more consistent offense all day long, so I felt like a game inside a phone booth from the 25-yard line in favored Arkansas. So here we begin overtime, and I'll tell you what, overtime just absolutely worried me to death. Of course, being an Oklahoma State fan, I worry just about everything, it seems like, because, being an OSU fan is not always easy. It's a lot of fun. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and it's very gratifying, but it's not always easy, right? So I'm thinking, Arkansas, a game inside the phone booth, they run the ball a bit better. They have the running quarterback seat, they're point guards. They're that kind of thing. They're getting 11, 12-yard runs. Oklahoma State can't run the ball at all. And so I'm thinking, man, this game inside a phone booth in overtime, that really favors Arkansas, and that has me absolutely worried to death. So, overtime, whenever their field goal kicker made that last kick, was not something that was pleasant for me. It was not a pleasant emotion. So here's a 3rd down and 13. You finally get him behind the chains. This was a huge play right here. I mean, this is hey, Taylon Green played a great game for Arkansas, no doubt about it. But this is no doubt about it the what are you doing, Taylon Green play of the day. You've got a field goal in your back pocket. He backs up. Now you're not even hardly in field goal range. Arkansas, because of this, misses the field goal right here, hooks it left. You knew he was going to miss that after the sack. At this point, Oklahoma State just sits on it. I don't like sitting on it from the 25-yard line, and the reason is, 42 yards or however long that field goal ended up being, that is a really difficult field goal for any kicker, and with the game on the line like that, go for 1 first down. Get the ball down to the 15, throw your little slants, throw your little out route to Brennan Presley. You have a 7th-year senior that you can trust. He's shown you in the second half. He's threw the 1 interception long, but I just thought it too long. I know Logan Ward's made all of his kicks this year. I know all the analytics tell you, hey, you play to not turn the ball over, but I just think you need to get 1 first down. And then, hey, this is a tough turnaround, almost like a turnover. This almost feels like a turnover because your offense is right back on the field after you felt like you won the game, and you have 2 terrible plays to start off with. And then Sooie Jr., we talk about the Taylon Green, what are you doing play of the game? This one takes the cake. And, hey, Coach Pittman can be upset, and he admitted it in his post-game show. Coach Pittman from Grove, Oklahoma, is a stand-up first-class guy. This, no doubt, was a personal foul penalty. Give the officials credit. They called all the pass interferences. They called all of the personal fouls. The officials did a fantastic job, short of the 1 offsides penalty that they got wrong that would have helped Oklahoma State. That's a definite penalty. I mean, that's just absolutely no doubt about it. You let OSU out of jail. So here's that you remember that pitch that Arkansas fumbled earlier? Same play for Oklahoma State. Get that thing out into space. And Ollie Gordon right there. Get in the end zone, young man. Yes, sir, Oklahoma State takes the lead. But here's the deal. Second overtime, you got to go for 2. Alan Bowman actually came storming down the field trying to cut off the celebration because he was telling them they had to go for 2. And so they chilled out so we can get a play in here. And then Ollie Gordon act like he's going to block, then go out for a pass. What a pass, Alan Bowman. Bring it into the breadbasket. Ollie Gordon, now you're playing with house money. 8-point lead. Arkansas has to score a touchdown. and make the 2-point conversion. But again, you've struggled to stop their offense. I know you had a couple of big sacks last time. There is that lead stretch play Oklahoma State had struggled with where you run that outside zone. Hey, this is a touchdown. Again, if Arkansas just executes here, this is a fire from Oklahoma State, okay? So this is just a play to where, actually, I'm going to fast forward that so we can get a good look at it. Let me get this up to where it was at. Watch right here. Oklahoma State's going to fire, okay? Watch the fire right. Well, actually, let that play run. This is the run play here where you played really good run defense. So let me get this stopped. Okay, right here, this is going to be just kind of a rail right there. See, that's going to be back out right there. Safety's going to have back right here. Here you see Nick Martin firing. Okay, Jeff Robertson firing. So what is that? This is Brian Nardo saying, you know what, screw this game. I'm going to try to end this thing right now, and I'm going to send both linebackers, Robertson, and Nick Martin. So watch the fire here. Both linebackers. So the problem with that is give Bobby Petrino credit. So who covers the back out of the backfield? See, that is a back out of the backfield right there. See, this back right here is going to rail out right there. Who covers that guy? It's supposed to be back out to a linebacker. But because you have an all-out blitz on right there, and because you have a tight end that takes the safety, you do not have anybody responsible for running back, and Talon Green just missed the throw. Thank God Dylan Smith was not going to be able to drive on that and make that play. So now you have 3rd down, 10. You're like, tackle. Come on, Kendall. Atta baby. Held him up short. So you're kind of thinking, just no first down and goal. So now here's the goal line defense. Kendall Daniels right there. Atta baby. No, yep. Oh, all right, there you go, guys. Now we got it won. You're thinking, okay, he made the tackle. There's Kendall Daniels right there. I'm a little bit worried about that. We'll have to check in on that. I don't know if that's just exhaustion or just like, I can't believe that. It's thank God this is over. What that is, great play. Not only did he read the play, not only did he get downhill on it, not only did he make the contact, he finished the play, did not allow the runner to have any forward momentum, and because of that, the rest of his team was able to rally. Game over. Cowboys defeat the Arkansas Razorbacks and move to 2-0, and I hope you enjoyed today's highlight show.